Okay, it's been an hour. The base coat is dry, and now it's time to measure where the faux board areas are going to butt up. And they give you this, you just unroll it, and on here, it's a little template. On here, there's lines that's like the size of your board each time, and you just fold over some tape to make it sticky on each side to put on back so that it'll stay on the wall. And you go to each corner, because you're going to do the thing long, bring it down, and I'll tell you one more thing in just a second. If you're doing this from your baseboard and doing your whole wall, you would want to make sure that your baseboard's straight all the way across. I've been assured that my countertops are straight all the way across, so I'm going to go with it and trust my husband on this one. And if it's off at all, it's going to make my lines off, my boards off, and the whole thing's going to look like hockey. So we've all been warned there. So you bring this up, and you may or may not be able to see it good, but this is the best aim I can get it. I've got this touching what would be the straight line under my level if I had started a new straight line, but since this is level, I've got it butted up there on bottom, and I'll mark right beside it on both sides of this tape at all three of the lines, because that's how many it'll reach up to here. Then I pull this off, move it to the far corner of this same wall, which I've got my phone plugged in, so you won't be able to see this from here, but we'll pretend, how far can you go? We'll pretend right here is the corner. You would go, make it straight on the bottom, straight at the top, and there on that outer edge, you would mark the lines. And that's it. So, and then you just go around the edge and go back. So now is I don't know if this is the fun part or the nerve-wracking part, but we start at inside one corner and go all the way to the other one, pulling it a little bit at a time. And then we'll straighten it up at the very end if it has an issue, an issue that we can see. Make sure I've got it pulled out straight. And I'm going to start, while this doesn't have tape in that corner because this is an inside corner. If it did have, we're going to extend onto the tape. So I'm going to extend around this corner a little bit. Now I'm just pulling as far, as straight as I can see to pull, and then once I get a little farther out, I'll unhook that where I've attached it, keep it just up in the corner, and I'm just continuing to go this way. I give myself a stop point there, which is high, but that just lets me move a little farther out. So we're going to pull that again. Push it in just to give you a point to be able to stop at. And I'm going to pull that off. Okay, here's where we make sure it's straight again. I'm pulling pretty taut. And back down. And I went just under my line over there, so I'm going to want to go just under my line over here. And come around that corner. Now, according to, that's probably a little too tight there. Might give me an issue. Let me pull it out. Because we're going over the electrical outlet. That's the part that I see you didn't travel with me there, but you see where we traveled over this electrical outlet. And I'm just going to press with my fingers at this point. Up to here, over, and then I need it back down tight right there, and that fit great. this one, I'm going to undo it a little bit. And I don't know if you can see them at the far end. And I'm just pulling it back up to make sure that it butts up good after the electrical outlet on this side. Trying to make sure it's not twisted. And I'm going to bring it back up and just butt it up under the line that I drew with my pencil. And I can't see. I apologize if you can see that I'm struggling. And I'm going to have to pull it back up, come back in again, and then come back. It's all the way across. Then you go over the whole thing with your credit card to make sure that it's down really good so that when we paint it, the paint doesn't go under those seams. Probably wait till the very end. Oh look, I pulled it loose there a little bit. There we go. Back up in that corner. It's not straight. Coming over this electrical outlet, I'm going to move the stove back a little because this is causing me a little bit of an issue, and it's really important that this be straight. Probably could use my husband's help right now because he has, well, I don't even know if he has better eyes than me right now or not. But we're going to let him double check me later. I'm coming out high. Well, no, I'm not. I feel like I'm coming out high around this corner, but I'm not. It is crooked right there. Once the next line's on, I'll straighten with that. Now, I've marked the next one in the same exact way, so I will do the same exact thing. Sorry. Miss Popularity today on the phone. Put it there just enough for me to get some more out, and pull that back up. Put it down long enough for me to get some out. Pull it back up. Put it down long enough for me to get to this corner. Back up. Okay, got it pulled taut. Get into this corner and go just underneath it because that's what I've been doing. Perfect. Come around this corner really good before I tear it. This would be better if you had longer arms. Okay. Now we'll say perfect. If you need to, go back over these end pieces here. Turn it around where you can see. If you need to, show you. Grab a piece of this tape and go back over these corners to hold it in there good and tight, and that'll help you out. Now I'm going to finger press it and then come back with the credit card. Okay, I've got a little loose place right there, so let's pull it up. And pull it tight. Get it back on there. Now it's tight. Okay. One more. And I'm very thankful. One more. I'm just not tall enough. See where I'm struggling here? I'm going to get myself a little stool. I'm very thankful for the depth of the countertop. I did ask for the cabinets to be lowered a little bit whenever they were first put in, but they wouldn't do it, so I use a stool when I need to. Much better. Here's going to be a little bit of an issue. Can't get behind that, and I didn't make a mark right there, so let's make one. I did not anticipate that. Here it is. This cabinet, this edge right here, it's built up a little bit, probably, I don't know, a knuckle and a half. It's built up under there, so the line is actually going to be higher than that, so we're going to need to mark it, stop it, and restart it somehow. So see how these lines are coming right through there where they need to be. Awesome. We're going to have to go on each side of this. It doesn't look right. going to go with, we're putting that below that. That's in there. I'm going to put this one right here. We're going to do it this way. We're probably going to need that again on this side. And this side. I'm going to double check this one because the something just doesn't look right to me. Tear it off right there, pull it out, and we're just below them, right? Yep. Okay. Pick back up on this side. Voila! And get the credit card. And something I hadn't anticipated, I forgot I'm going to need to go up higher here. So, we're marking. Need another piece of tape a little farther up. Just marking around the corner, around the edge of this. It's going to go behind the fan thing there a little bit, but I believe actually that that's away from the wall. I will actually be able to pull the tape behind it. looks better already. I know you can't see this part. And there's really nothing I can do. So I guess I will come back when we're ready to paint this. I've got a couple more areas to put the tape, and the area here that I can't seem to get you aimed up to there. I'm going to do that area, and next we'll put on a coat of paint. See you soon. Hey, I'm back. And I'm going to start in this area really quick because I think the husband's wanting the internet that I've had off for a little while. I now have a container of step 2 bead coat. And it needs to be stirred really good. Ooh, this stuff's thick, man. This feels like, what is this thick? This is like if you were trying to stir 5 gallons of cake batter with a small spoon. It's very thick. It's like ice cream that's like 2/3 frozen. It's really thick and creamy, like soft serve. It's like a very thin soft serve. Didn't take a lot of mixing, but you want to make sure that it's mixed good. So this is a really thick coat. This is a very bright white, and it said the same thing, that we cut in and then we roll, and that the roller needs to be soaked at least 1 minute in the, you can see where I'm stirring, at least 1 minute in the coat first. So I'm going to do just like I did before. I rinsed out my pan, and I'm going to pour it in my pan. Actually rinsed out my roller, I have it here. And I'm going to get it started in there. And the way that this one works, same exact way that we did the other one, but this dries in 30 minutes and then we can put this a second coat on. The other one didn't take a second coat, and we got the tape taped up as straight as I can do it. I mean, I'm a human being, not a machine here. So get that in there real good. I'm happy with it, and I'm pretty particular about stuff, so I think if I'm happy with it, I'm good. But it does say one thing I did do, because I'm going to be putting the second coat on within about a half an hour. I'm not going to, let me put the roller in there and start it soaking. Boy, I would have been mad at myself. Not going to put that brush in a cup of water to be soaking in between coats. I got out some press and seal, and I'm just going to kind of wrap it over in the press and seal, and then stick some press and seal over the top of this roller package, and put both of those coats on there tonight. Whether I will be able to control myself to keep from continuing on and doing more, I don't know. But right now we're going to cut in. And let's make it happen. I went over all of the tape. Ooh, this stuff is thick, man. This is like taffy that's not melted yet or something. I went over it all with my credit card, with my finger first, and then with my credit card a couple of times. So it should stay on, because I've done what I was supposed to do to make sure that it did. But I'm still coming over all of these edges carefully. Something I did read and I thought about doing whenever I was reading back over the instructions that I hadn't thought about was, if you want to put some like vertical boards in there too, you just ever so often run a vertical piece of tape between some of the horizontal boards and have it, you know, like some of your boards are cut. I thought about it for about 10 seconds and then I said, nope, I'm gonna just go with the long ones on this. I put a lot of effort into the long ones being on here. So long ones it's going to be. Making sure you can see that my big old head ain't covering you up. I can't get over, I wish I could think of a word of what this texture feels like, and other than like a taffy, I don't know what word to use. I know I'm not going to be able to get that roller down in these tight areas very good, so I am going back over this with my brush each time to try to straighten that out. It says this dries fairly quickly, so try to hurry. This is my hurry mode, but I make mistakes when I hurry, so I don't want to hurry too much. But I do want to get this part here, and then I'm sure it's been a minute already, so I'm probably going to go ahead and roll this piece before we move on, because I don't want this to start drying. I am looking very carefully for any runs because this is going on pretty thick. I really just feel like I should go over that with this brush, so I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm going to grab the roller, and it said to go vertical with the roller. This is unbelievable. Like Divinity, that's what it reminds me of. My mommy used to love that. I never made it, but I saw them making it, and it was thick like this. This roller is actually pretty heavy. Get as close to that edge as I can get without having an issue. And it is going to, you know, get 2 coats of this, so. I'm trying to make sure here that none of this tape flaps back over and gets in my way. I'm going to have to put at least a little bit of this texture there. Okay. And I did decide about 90% of the way that I'm going to paint the covers that were over my plugs and stuff. I'll probably paint the ones that are on the try to move you over. I'm knocking the light fixture over. I'm gonna paint the ones that are over here to match this sort of, and the ones that are like on the counter over there I'll paint to match the counter. But this base coat, this kind of gray coat, that's going to be the base coat I get on there, and then I may paint some flowers or something on it. You never can tell. So I'm thinking you may as well do something cute, and then if you don't like it, you could just go buy some. We can get the cheap ones for like 37 cents or something like that at Lowe's. Or Lowe's is, we have a local home improvement store called Stein's about a half an hour from here, and then we have a Lowe's about 20 minutes from here, and we don't have anything else within, you know, less than an hour. There's no Home Depot or anything. Okay, so I'm cutting in just like before with the other color. I know you can't see this area, but there's no way for me to get the camera around here. So all I can do is tell you I'm doing the same thing you're going to see in just a minute. And I'm having to come through this area because the roller is really not going to fit in here. There's a receptacle here, and then it hits the side of this built in. So I'm just coming with the brush best I can. It's almost like I can feel it starting to get tacky right under the brush, so I'm not wanting to go over it or anything. And pull any of it back up, make any kind of mess. Okay, make sure you can see in that corner, and hopefully I'm not just going to be in the way here. I keep wanting to get full coverage in this area, but now I remember the guy saying on the instructional video that you don't have to get the full coverage with this first coat because there is going to be a second coat on here. So I'm going to ease up a little bit. I'm recording. So I know the roller's not going to come into this corner. Let me get my stool because I can barely get into this corner. I know the roller's not going to roll flush into that corner, so I definitely have to go in there with the cutting in. And it makes me very comfortable to go over this with the brush, even though, you know, I went over this tape with my fingers and I went over it with the credit card. Still makes me nervous. Now I know why it takes 2 cans. This is cray-cray how thick this stuff is. Again, I know I don't have to get perfect coverage, but I do want to get good coverage over that tape because this coat will seal that tape even, you know, to where the next coat can be a little more liberal. I was thinking, you know, hey, should I do it like you do a stencil and put a clear coat over it, or put a coat of the base coat over it so there's no way that this can run under it? And I'm like, you know what, if that's what they wanted you to do, they would have told you to do that. Quit trying to overthink everything. So maybe that's why this paint's so thick. Maybe that's how it's protected. I definitely know they know more about this than I do. really think I'm going to stop right here and roll and then move around and do some more, because if it dries that fast, I'm going to want this on. I bet this roller weighs 5 pounds right now. This is definitely going to brighten the room up. I wondered if I was going to be able to see the tape really good for pulling off at the end through this, but I definitely can. Now I'm going, after I've done all that back and forth, I'm going with a good clean downward swipe. To even it out. Shoot, I just pulled some off over there with the end of the roller. They say do like 2 foot by 2 foot sections with this rolling up and down, and then go back and straighten it, and then when you get to the very end, go back and straighten it again. I'm going to come next to this horizontally a little bit, and that's just so that I can make sure and get that texture on there, the texture of the roller. Straight. This is going really quick. I may not stretch this out till Thursday. There's no way that I'm going to be able, the area that I'm in here, again, I know that you can't see that well, but there's no way that I'm going to be able to get the roller in there, the full-size roller. That it's about maybe a size of a dollar bill up there, so about 6 inches. So I'm going to need to make sure that I do all of that with my brush. And then I'll try to slightly get it horizontal in there and see if I can get a little bit of the texture at least. Get down in the area that you can see as quick as I can. Just going up under the cabinet, getting as close as I can with the brush, coming down probably about 3.5, 4 inches, so that I have plenty of room to try to roll. And on this bottom part, I'm really, there's a small gap at the base of the countertop where it butts up to the wall, and we will probably caulk that afterward. But for now, I'm just doing my very best to go down in there, you know, to where it appears that this goes down back behind the countertop. And once again around the electrical outlet. Again, we just ran that tape right over it, but connected the tape just before and just after to make sure that it stayed flat. I believe I can get the roller in there. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to wrap it in the plastic wrap. And stick it in there. Close it up, and that'll keep it moist. Even if I wanted to wait till tomorrow before I do the next coat, I don't think that'll happen. But if I did, I would put this in the refrigerator. It doesn't say that on there, but that's what I usually do. So maybe I wouldn't, since theirs doesn't say it, but normally that's what I do. And you can wrap the roller itself in plastic wrap, or cover the whole tray with plastic wrap. Let's start over here. going kind of easy over the tape so that I don't, you know, drag it off in my first rollover. Remember I said I would try to go in here horizontally just a tad to try to get that texture in there. There we go. I'm also trying not to roll too fast and chance splattering this back on myself. Well, and not really that I'm worried about myself, but I'm not wanting it splattered on because I haven't protected the cabinetry or the floor or anything like that. And I definitely have no plans on new cabinetry or new flooring. This right here is my makeover. This is enough to make me feel like I have a whole new kitchen. Not a doubt in my mind on that. Okay, now we're going to go straight down. Let's do it all the way over. All the way down. All the way down. Just get that consistency. Not a whole lot more paint left in here. Should have left that brush out, that way I could have got this from the corners a little better. This is going to be the perfect amount. How lucky am I? It's probably taken me 30 minutes to get across here. I don't know, I guess I could look at the time of the recording to figure that out. But what I'm going to do is set a timer and take a break, get that tape off of there, and come back in 30 minutes. Then I'll know for sure that it's not going to still be tacky, and it'll be ready for that next coat. All the way down. I don't know why this stuff is so exciting to me, but I am very excited right now at cooking a meal in my new kitchen already. Okay, let's see how much plastic wrap I got out. I'm going to do it this way. Oh, it has been 29 minutes, so I probably could start over there, but I'm not. I'm going to cover that over. I'm going to put it in on this side because that's going to protect that down there, but I'm going to go ahead and come on up with this. one more piece. I've got plenty of this stuff. I actually ordered it on Amazon. Sometimes I get it at the dollar store, but this particular batch I needed something and I ordered it on Amazon, and you had to get 3 of them, and these are like super duper size 100 square foot rolls anyway, so I've got plenty. All right, I will see you in the next video when we put on the second coat. Bye. Okay, we're back. It's been a half an hour. This is now dry. Amazingly, that was pretty quick. I've already done the one little section on that side so that I could be closer to getting the internet back on in the house for the night, because I probably will not. I'm a little bit tired. I don't think I'm going to get the next coat on tonight. I'll do that in the morning whenever I get up. But I am cutting in again, just like exactly like I did earlier, and then we'll roll on the remainder. And you definitely, because this is so thick and there's such good coverage, you really can't tell that, you know, any areas, you know, doing this, it's easy, I guess, is what I'm trying to spit out to get this second coat on. And this is, I guess, so thick, and that's how it's going to get that depth that it's going to take for it to appear more like real boards. While I'm in this corner, I'm going to go ahead and come out this direction. I really can't, I can see the texture of the roller on there, but I really can't tell the difference in the areas where we've cut in compared to where we've rolled. So it really is good coverage. I just got some on the countertop. trying to move pretty quickly. Well, I guess you can see in there. Coming down with that straight pass. Love it. Let's see if I back you up any. Does that help you see a little bit more? There we go. How about that? So therapeutic. Now I'm excited again and I'm not tired and I want to do the next part. almost done. Okay, that's all of this part, and I will bring you back when I do the next part, and that's where we mix this grain coat in with water in the little bucket thing, and then we use this pad, and I can hear plastic in there so it doesn't seep through to your hands, and we put it on and then wipe it off. So that'll be the next part, and I'll join you again when I do that.